I must destroy my sister, even if it destroy me. She must die.
In the quiet, ancient village of Umuajulu, life moved slowly like the steady flow of the river that curved around the red earth paths. The village was a place where the birds sang before the sun woke up, where the wind carried the smell of roasted yam and palm oil. Umuajulu was known far and wide for its gentle river, a river so calm that even strangers who visited said it looked like a mirror laid on the earth. The soil in Umuajulu was deep red, the color of burnt clay. Their mother, Ijim, had prayed for years for a child. When her pregnancy finally came, the whole village celebrated. The twins' mother, Mama Ijim, was a hardworking woman who sold palm oil in the next village market. She was loved by many and respected for her strength. When she became pregnant, the whole village celebrated because it had been many years since twins were born in Umuajulu. The elders said it was a sign of blessing, but on the night she went into labor, something strange happened. The moon was full, round, and bright, but a heavy wind blew across the village. Palm trees bent, and the doors of mud houses shook. Dogs barked without reason. Inside Mama Ijim's hut, women gathered around her as she screamed in pain. They found her, prayed for her, and encouraged her to push. After long hours of sweat and struggle, the first baby arrived. When the women saw her, they gasped. She was beautiful. So beautiful that even at birth, it felt as though the gods had molded her with special hands. Her skin shone like rich chocolate, her cheeks were smooth and soft, and on her head, she already had a full curly thick mass of black hair. A beauty like that in a newborn was rare. Women smiled. Some clapped softly. Even Mama Ijim forgot her pain and stretched out her arms in joy. They named this child Adaora, the daughter the people would love. But soon after, another cry burst into the hut, sharp and loud. The second twin had arrived. The moment the midwife saw her, they went silent. Unlike her sister, she was pale, almost white like cold ash. Her skin looked sickly and dull, covered with big boils, swollen patches, and painful-looking large pimples. Her eyes were small and tired-looking. Her hair was thin and patchy. The women looked at each other in confusion. Some stepped back, some said nothing at all. They named her Adaku, but fear and pity already surrounded her name. Even as newborns, the twins looked nothing alike. It was as if they were not born from the same womb. One carried beauty and light, the other carried sickness and shadow. From that day, Mama Ijim's heart chose one child. Adaora was adored instantly. Her mother held her first, fed her first, dressed her in the finest wrappers, and showed her proudly to visitors. She adored Adaora. She carried her everywhere. She braided her hair, dressed her in colorful wrappers, sang to her, kissed her cheeks, and showed her proudly to women who visited. But Adaku was often pushed aside, wrapped quietly, and handed to older children to carry. Mama Ijim held her only when necessary. She was often left sleeping on a small mat. She was fed last, and whenever Adaku cried, her mother grew irritated, quiet. She would snap. "You always cry too much. Why are you never like Adaora?" Even when visitors came, they ignored Adaku. They would play with Adaora, pinch her cheeks, call her beauty, and ask the gods to bless her. But when they turned to Adaku, their faces changed. She looked sick. What happened to her skin? This one will be hard to train. Maybe the spirits exchanged one child. This one looks cursed. Adaku grew up receiving no love, no smiles, no praise. She grew up learning only one thing. She was unwanted. As the years passed, Adaora became even more beautiful. Her chocolate skin glowed like polished bronze. Her hair grew long, thick, and shiny. Her smile lit up a room. People called her the jewel of Umuajulu. But her beauty wasn't just in her face. Adaora was calm, gentle, respectful, and kind. She greeted elders with both hands. She helped the old women fetch water. She shared her food with little children. She comforted crying babies. She swept the compound without being told. The whole village loved her. Wherever Adaora walked, people smiled. But Adaku was the complete opposite. Adaku grew into a troublesome child with a temper like fire. Her pale skin remained rough, covered with boils and pimples that never seemed to heal. She felt pain often. She felt bitterness even more, and because she felt unloved, she acted like someone who wanted the world to feel her anger. From the time she could walk, trouble followed her like a shadow. She loved fighting, not because anyone offended her, but because she enjoyed it. She beat younger children, slapped older ones, pushed people's daughters into mud, and tore people's wrappers during quarrels. If she wanted something, she took it: fowls, fruits, firewood, corn, anything. She would pluck mangoes from people's trees, steal plantains from behind huts, and run away laughing. If the owners complained, she would insult them and dare them to chase her. People in the village quickly learned to avoid Adaku. Whenever her mother tried to correct her, Adaku would shout back, "Leave me alone. Am I a child? Stop talking to me." Sometimes she threw her mother's pot on the ground in anger. Sometimes she stormed out of the compound for hours. Sometimes she refused to pound yam or sweep the compound, leaving Adaora to do everything. People began crossing the road when they saw her coming. Mothers dragged their children away from her. Elders shook their heads whenever her name was mentioned. Even her own mother avoided her, and with each avoiding face, each insult, each rejection, Adaku's heart became darker. Where Adaora had peace, Adaku had pain. Where Adaora had love, Adaku had hatred. Where Adaora had praise, Adaku had insults. Where Adaora had beauty, Adaku had boils. Every day, people compared them. "Look at Adaora, she is so beautiful." Adaku. Let her just try and behave like her sister. Oh, why can't you be like Adaora? This one is spoiled, but the beautiful one has a good spirit.